After I posted my last video on YouTube, I got a message from a guy asking if I could go over the switch connections on the printed circuit board again. If you remember, when we fitted the bass reflex speaker, we had to remove the directional and the carb lighting switches from the chassis, simply because there wasn't enough room for to have the switches excuse me, and the bass reflex speaker in the same place, so the switches had to come out. And since we're using DCC anyway, it doesn't make any difference, because the lighting functions will be controlled by the DCC handset. Anyway, if we have a look at the printed circuit board, what's left is these wires here once the switches has been removed. What we need to do first, we need to remove the wires first, but what I'll do is I'll go through the connections with you first, just to let you know exactly what I'm going to do, so hopefully it might clear up any confusion. What it is, you've got these tags here, and they're numbered 1 to 6. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 here. Now you need to couple 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. But because 5 and 6 is on opposite side of the circuit board, we're just simply going to use a little piece of the wire what's left and just join that up onto the other tag on the other side. And because the wire's insulated here, it won't cause any problems. What I'm going to do with these is, once the wires is removed, I'm going to make up a couple of little jumpers and solder those into place. What I used to do in the past, I used to use this heat shrink tube, and this is 1 1/16 heat shrink tubing, and I used to just join the wires together with a little bit of heat shrink tubing on, just to make the joint insulated. But I prefer to, as I say, make these little jumpers. It makes more of a permanent fix, and you haven't got any wires sort of hanging either. Now the stuff I'm going to use for the jumper is this single core equipment wire. It doesn't matter what colour it is, because it's just the actual wire core itself that we're going to be using. And the way that I make the jumpers up is as follows. If you cut about a 2-inch piece of equipment wire off, and then bare about half of it to make the jumper up, and then you can cut the excess off when we're finished. So what I'll do first of all is I'll go ahead and remove the old wires before we can put the jumpers on. And if you want to, you can keep a hold of the little bits of wire. Sometimes they come in handy for other things. Now we need to keep one of the green wires. As I say, we're going to solder one across onto the opposite tag. But what I'll do is I'll remove the longer one of the two, which is off there. Right, what we'll do is we'll get one of the jumpers on first. And it's just a case of if you just light on the contact there and just heat it up with the soldering iron, and it'll just, if you've got enough solder on, it should just drop into the solder like that. And if you do the other side, and then it'll bring it down nice and level. What you need to do is you've got to be careful, because as soon as you try and soften one side up, when you've got the wire on rather, the other side becomes soft as well, because the heat just transfers straight through the piece of wire. So you've got problems with both sides of the solder being soft at the same time. Right, when the solder's gone hard, you just get in with your diagonal cutters and just cut the excess off. And if we have a look at what we've done, you can see the jumpers on there. There's a little bit of excess on the end there which you can remove, but all in all, really, it's not going to affect anything there. You can see that there's nothing can short out or anything like that. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll put the other one on, which goes on exactly the same way as the other one did. I just soften up the solder. And we'll just wait for the solder to go hard, which it has there. Put the soldering iron down, diagonal cutters again, and just snip that off there. And if we have a look here, you can see we've got the second one on there. So we've got both the 1 and 2's connected together, 3 and 4's connected together, and we're now going to go ahead and connect 5 and 6, which, as I say, is the one with the piece of wire. Little bit fiddly because I'm not left-handed. There we go, there's the connection made with tags 5 and 6. So now when you put your Bachmann class 37 body on, your lights will work as normal, except you'll switch them on and off with the with your DCC controller. So I hope that's cleared up any confusion anyway. If anybody's got any further questions, if they want to send us a message on YouTube, and I'll do my best to answer any queries. So thanks again for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye.